You go to bed feeling fine. Just like every other night. Your favorite pillow, the soft hum of the fan, the blanket pulled right up under your chin. Everything feels normal. Safe. But then you wake up. And something isn't right. Your arm feels heavy, like it doesn't belong to you. Your mouth moves, but the words come out jumbled, or not at all. You try to stand, but your balance is off. You feel dizzy. Confused. Powerless. And in that moment, panic sets in. Could it really be happening? Could a stroke have hit you in your sleep, without a single warning? Now here's the part no one talks about. It might not be your age. It might not be your diet. It might be something as simple as how you sleep. That's right. The position you sleep in, every night, could quietly increase your risk of stroke. No pain. No symptom. No alarm bell. Just a slow buildup of pressure, restricted blood flow, and in some cases, a sudden, irreversible event. All while you're asleep. I know, it sounds terrifying. And maybe right now, you're thinking, no way. I've always slept like this. It's comfortable. I'm used to it. But listen, as a brain doctor recently revealed, comfort doesn't always mean safe. And for seniors especially, what feels good can sometimes be what puts you most at risk. Now I want you to think about this. You wouldn't leave the stove on overnight, right? You wouldn't ignore chest pain. So why overlook something you do for 7 to 8 hours every single night? Without knowing whether it's protecting your brain, or slowly hurting it? This isn't fear-mongering. This is about awareness. Because when it comes to strokes, especially for older adults, what you don't know can hurt you. In today's video, we're diving deep into this often ignored topic. You're going to discover 3 common sleeping positions that might raise your stroke risk, and why the science backs it up. We'll break down what happens in your body during sleep, why certain positions are more dangerous than others, and most importantly, what you can do tonight to protect yourself and your loved ones. No scare tactics. No jargon. Just practical knowledge that could very well save a life, maybe even yours. So, stay with me. Grab a cup of tea. Get comfortable. Because what you're about to learn could change the way you sleep, for the rest of your life. And hey! Before we jump in, I want to hear from you. Have you or someone you love ever had a stroke, or a health scare during sleep? Drop a comment below and write, "Stay safe." Let's start the conversation. Let's spread awareness. And if senior health and safety truly matter to you, like they do to me, tap that like button, subscribe, and join our growing community right here on Elderly Wisdom Guide. Because together, we're not just growing older. We're growing wiser. Let's begin. Let's start with a position most people don't even question, the classic back sleeper. Flat on your back. Hands by your sides or folded on your chest. Maybe you've slept that way your entire life. It feels restful, supportive, familiar. That's how it was for Mr. Thompson. He was 76. A proud grandfather of 5. He swore by his back sleeping routine. Said it helped with his joints. Said it aligned his spine. Every night, he'd settle into bed, looking straight up at the ceiling, and drift off. But one morning, things changed. He woke up groggy, disoriented. He tried to stand, but his right side felt weak, numb, even. His vision was blurry, and he couldn't quite move his mouth the way he wanted to. By the time the ambulance arrived, it was clear, he'd suffered a mild stroke. In his sleep. Without ever knowing it was coming. Doctors ran the usual tests, looked into his medical history, checked his heart, his brain, his blood pressure. But something stood out. His sleeping position. You see, sleeping completely flat on your back might feel good, but it can create silent problems, especially for older adults. Here's why: when you lie flat, gravity isn't helping you anymore. Blood doesn't circulate as efficiently, particularly from the lower body back up to the heart and brain. Your airways can become partially obstructed, especially if you snore or have undiagnosed sleep apnea. And if you already have narrowed arteries, sluggish circulation, or reduced heart function, which many seniors do, then that position can actually slow the flow of oxygen-rich blood to your brain. Now, this doesn't mean everyone who sleeps on their back is doomed. But for older adults, especially those with heart disease, diabetes, or a history of high blood pressure, the risk adds up. And here's the part that most people don't realize: when you sleep flat, fluid can start to pool, particularly in the upper body. This puts more pressure on the brain and the blood vessels that feed it. And over time, or during certain vulnerable moments, like a dip in nighttime blood pressure, it can trigger the perfect storm. Still, you'll hear people say, "But isn't sleeping on your back good for spinal alignment? Doesn't it help with hip pain?" And yes, for younger, healthier individuals, that might be true. But for seniors, it's not about comfort anymore. It's about circulation, oxygenation, and neurological health. So, what can you do if back sleeping is your go-to? Start by adjusting the angle. You don't need to sleep sitting up, but a gentle elevation of the upper body, about 30 degrees, is often enough. You can use an adjustable bed if you have one, or something as simple as a wedge pillow or stacked cushions to raise your head and chest. This helps gravity assist your circulation instead of fighting it. It keeps your airways more open. And it reduces that silent pooling effect that can increase the risk of brain events like strokes. If you use a CPAP machine or have any kind of sleep-related breathing issue, elevation becomes even more important. And don't forget, hydration, light stretching before bed, and a calm routine can also support better circulation and oxygen flow through the night. Back sleeping may feel like second nature, but that doesn't mean it's safe for everyone. Especially not when there are safer ways to rest that don't put your brain at risk. But here's the twist. Back sleeping might be risky. But there's another position, one that feels even more natural for many people, that could quietly be making things worse. It's the one that feels like comfort, but could be doing serious damage to your vascular system without you ever feeling a thing. Sleeping on your right side. It's cozy. It feels familiar. You curl up, maybe pull the blanket a little closer. It's the way your body seems to settle after a long day. And that's exactly how it was for Martha. She was 72. Still active, still gardening every morning, still baking cookies for her grandkids. But every night, without fail, she'd sleep curled up on her right side, said it helped her fall asleep faster, and helped with heartburn, too. Then one morning, Martha woke up with a strange sensation. Her words felt stuck. Her right arm didn't move quite the way it should. A scan confirmed what no one expected, a mild stroke. Now, she didn't smoke. She ate well. Took her medications faithfully. But one detail caught her doctor's attention: the consistent pattern of pressure on the carotid artery, the main artery that delivers blood to the brain. See, when you lie on your right side, you're placing pressure on a major vein called the vena cava. It's the large vein that carries blood from your lower body back to your heart. This pressure can slightly restrict blood flow, especially in people with underlying conditions like atrial fibrillation, high blood pressure, or a weak heart. And those aren't rare conditions. In fact, they're incredibly common in older adults. Now imagine this: you already have a heart that's working a little harder due to age or disease. And now, night after night, you're unknowingly putting pressure on the one pathway that's trying to deliver blood back to that struggling heart. What happens? Circulation slows. Clot risk increases. And if your brain isn't getting the steady, oxygen-rich blood it needs, the chance of a stroke quietly rises. Here's where things get tricky: most people believe sleeping on their side is automatically safer than on their back or stomach. And often, that's true. But what they don't realize is that the side you choose makes a difference. Many people are shocked to learn that sleeping on the right side, while comfortable, may not be the best choice for heart and brain health in older adults. It's not a guaranteed danger, but if you already have poor circulation or sit for long periods during the day, or if you don't move much during sleep, it's like stacking bricks against yourself, one night at a time. And yet, so many of us never even think about it. It's just how we've always done it. We assume it's harmless. But here's the good news, there's a simple switch that can make a powerful difference, and it's something you can do tonight. Try sleeping on your left side instead. Why? Because the left side takes pressure off the vena cava. It helps your heart pump more efficiently. It supports better blood flow throughout the body, including to your brain. It even helps with digestion and lymphatic drainage, two things that slow down as we age. Now I get it, if you've been a right-side sleeper for decades, it's not easy to just flip over and stay there all night. That's why I always recommend using a body pillow. Place it behind your back to stop yourself from rolling. Use a small pillow between your knees to reduce pressure on your hips and spine. And make sure your head is supported, not too high, not too flat. Think of it like training your body, gently, night after night, to settle into a safer, more protective posture. This one change, this simple shift from right to left, can support your circulation, ease the load on your heart, and reduce the subtle pressure that could be building on your brain. And remember, this isn't about fear. It's about small habits that protect the life you've built. Martha never thought her favorite sleep position could be part of the problem. But once she made the switch, and combined it with a few other lifestyle tweaks, her energy improved. Her mornings felt clearer. Her doctor even noticed better blood pressure control. Now, does this mean everyone must sleep on their left side only? Not at all. But if you're older, or if stroke or heart issues run in your family, this is one of the easiest ways to stack the odds in your favor. Still, we're not done. Because while sleeping on your back can slow circulation, and while sleeping on your right side can press on major vessels, there's one more position, one that feels the most relaxed for some, but could actually be the most dangerous of all for your brain and your lungs. Especially if you sleep alone and no one's around to notice when something goes wrong. Stomach sleeping. Now, I want you to meet David. David was a proud 70-year-old Navy veteran. Strong, disciplined, independent. He dealt with a few health issues, some breathing problems, a bit of sleep apnea, and the kind of nighttime restlessness that's common in older age. But he always insisted on one thing, "I sleep best on my stomach," he'd say. Been that way for years. It made him feel grounded, safe. He believed it stopped his snoring. And honestly, he never thought twice about it. Until one morning, his wife found him disoriented. His breathing had been shallow through the night. And after a rushed visit to the hospital, it was clear, David had experienced a mild nocturnal stroke. A stroke while sleeping. Doctors weren't surprised by the risk factors. But they pointed out something David never expected: his sleeping position may have made it worse. You see, when you lie on your stomach, also known as prone sleeping, your chest is compressed. Your ribs can't fully expand. Your diaphragm, the muscle that pulls in deep breaths, is restricted. And for someone with age-related lung decline, sleep apnea, or COPD, that compression turns into a silent oxygen thief. Instead of deep, full breaths that keep your brain nourished during sleep, you end up breathing shallowly, often without knowing it. You might even stop breathing for short periods throughout the night. This condition is called intermittent hypoxia, and it's one of the sneakiest risks for older adults. And when the brain is deprived of oxygen, even slightly, even briefly, it's vulnerable. That's when strokes tend to strike. Usually in the early hours of the morning. when you're completely unaware. Now here's the part that trips people up. A lot of folks believe sleeping on their stomach helps reduce snoring. And in some cases, it can. But snoring is only a symptom, it's not the root issue. What matters more is how your body exchanges oxygen and carbon dioxide while you sleep. And when your face is buried in a pillow, your neck is twisted to the side for hours, and your chest is pushed flat against the mattress, your breathing is automatically limited, even in the healthiest lungs. Now imagine what that does in an aging body, where lungs are less elastic, and oxygen needs are even higher. David never knew that every night, his brain was getting less oxygen than it needed. He was slowly tipping toward risk. Until one night, his body couldn't keep up anymore. So, what can you do if you're someone who sleeps on your stomach? Start by reminding yourself, comfort doesn't always mean safety. Our bodies change with age. What worked in your 40 might not serve you well in your 70 or 80. Here are a few ways to make the transition smoother. Use support pillows behind your hips or back to prevent rolling forward. Train your body gently, don't force it. Start with partial side sleeping, supported by a body pillow or even a folded blanket tucked behind you. If you snore, wake up tired, or have been told you stop breathing at night, ask your doctor about a CPAP machine or a positional sleep aid. These tools don't just help you breathe, they protect your brain from oxygen dips that could lead to serious harm. And if you absolutely can't avoid stomach sleeping? At the very least, use a thin pillow under your head to reduce neck strain, and keep your chest slightly elevated with a small wedge under your torso to promote better breathing. It might take time. It might feel strange at first. But I promise you, adjusting your sleep position is one of the most powerful, underrated ways to protect your brain as you age. Because what we're really talking about here is not just rest. It's restorative sleep, the kind that heals you, supports your heart, feeds your brain, and keeps you strong enough to live the life you love. Now that we've covered the 3 riskiest positions for seniors, flat on your back, curled on your right side, and lying face down. Now that we've examined the 3 most dangerous sleeping positions for seniors, let's talk about the practical, doable, life-preserving changes you can make, starting tonight. Because it's not just about how you sleep. It's about how you set up your body to heal, recharge, and protect itself, every single night. And here's the truth, most people underestimate the power of small, consistent changes. But when it comes to brain health and stroke prevention, those tiny adjustments can change everything. Let's go through them, one by one. Elevate your head slightly, about 30 degrees. A gentle incline under your head, either with an adjustable bed, a wedge pillow, or a stack of firm cushions, can reduce the pooling of blood in the brain and improve circulation during the night. It's especially helpful for seniors with high blood pressure or heart conditions, as it regulates nighttime blood flow and prevents sudden pressure spikes during REM sleep. Prefer sleeping on your left side. Why the left side? Because it helps promote better circulation, supports lymphatic drainage, and reduces pressure on major blood vessels like the vena cava. For seniors, this position is often the safest compromise between comfort and cardiovascular support. Add a soft pillow between your knees to keep your hips aligned, and your spine will thank you, too. Use breathable pillows that support your neck. Aging changes the curve of the spine and tightens neck muscles. When your pillow is too high, too low, or too hot, you might be compromising airflow and circulation without realizing it. Choose memory foam or latex pillows that offer gentle support and allow your neck to rest in a natural position. And remember, a cooler pillow can reduce inflammation and help prevent nighttime blood pressure spikes. Avoid heavy meals or alcohol before bed. This one might be tough. But if you eat a heavy dinner late at night, your digestive system works overtime while you sleep. That pushes your heart rate up, causes poor oxygen distribution, and can even trigger blood pressure surges, not to mention acid reflux. And alcohol? While it might make you feel sleepy, it disrupts REM sleep, reduces oxygen intake, and makes nighttime breathing less efficient. Cutting these out after 7 p.m. can make a big difference. Stick to a regular sleep schedule. Your body runs on rhythms. And your brain, especially in older age, craves consistency. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day strengthens your natural sleep cycle, improves melatonin production, stabilizes overnight blood pressure, and promotes deep restorative sleep. It's not about sleeping more, it's about sleeping better. Now, here's the science behind all these tips. When you elevate your head, choose the right position, use proper support, and avoid things that disrupt your sleep rhythm. You're not just making yourself more comfortable. You're lowering inflammation. You're stabilizing blood flow to the brain. You're reducing oxidative stress. And most importantly, you're preventing the kind of subtle oxygen dips that increase your stroke risk while you rest. These changes may seem small. But for a senior, they can be the line between vulnerability and protection. And yet, even with all the right strategies in place, there's one more thing you must never ignore. The signs your body gives you when something is already wrong. Because many strokes happen quietly, in the middle of the night. And most people miss the first warning signs when they wake up. Overnight stroke warning signs most people miss. You wake up feeling a little off. Maybe your arm feels heavy. Your speech is slightly slurred. Your balance is shaky, but you think, maybe I just slept wrong. Please, don't ignore it. These subtle changes might not feel dramatic. But they could be the earliest signs of a nocturnal stroke. A brain attack that happened while you were asleep. Here's what to watch for as soon as you wake up: sudden confusion or trouble speaking. If words aren't coming out right, or you're struggling to understand simple phrases, even briefly, that's a neurological red flag. Don't chalk it up to morning grogginess. Weakness or numbness in an arm or leg, especially on one side. Try raising both arms above your head. If one drifts down or feels too heavy, that's not just poor posture. That could be a sign your brain is not sending proper signals to that side of your body. Blurred or double vision in one or both eyes. Even if it clears up in a few minutes, intermittent vision loss is a classic stroke symptom. Your optic nerves are part of your brain. And when blood flow is reduced, vision is one of the first things to go. Severe headache with no known cause. A throbbing pain, especially if it comes on suddenly, should never be ignored. This could be a sign of a hemorrhagic stroke, where bleeding in the brain causes pressure to build quickly. Loss of balance or sudden dizziness. Can't walk a straight line? Feel like the room is spinning? If that comes out of nowhere, especially right after sleep, it's not something to sleep off. Here's what every senior needs to hear, loud and clear: if any one of these symptoms shows up, don't wait. Don't hope it passes. Don't lie back down to see if it gets better. Call emergency services immediately. The first 3 hours after a stroke are critical. This is when doctors can administer clot-busting medications or begin treatment that could save your memory, your mobility, or even your life. Too many lives are lost, not because the stroke couldn't be treated, but because no one recognized the signs fast enough. And now that you do, you're already more prepared than most. In the next part of our journey, we'll talk about how to strengthen your nighttime brain health proactively, with foods, habits, and evening routines that protect your cognitive function, reduce inflammation, and help you sleep deeper, safer, longer. Because sleep isn't just rest. For seniors, it's a critical daily investment in the brain's survival. No one wants to believe that something as natural, as comforting, as essential as sleep, could ever turn dangerous. But the truth is, for many seniors, those peaceful nighttime hours can quietly conceal a risk that doesn't knock, doesn't shout. It just slips in, silently. And you don't know it happened until it's already changed everything. It's frightening. And it's unfair. Because you've lived a life full of responsibilities, full of battles, full of wisdom earned the hard way. And now, when all you ask for is peace, rest, and comfort, even that comes with a caution label. But let's be clear. This isn't about fear. This is about clarity. It's about taking control. Because when you understand what your sleep is doing to your brain, when you know which positions support your heart, your spine, your circulation, you're already one step ahead of a silent killer. Knowledge doesn't frighten you. It arms you. And at this stage of life, preparedness is power. You've spent years caring for others. Now, it's time to care for yourself with that same dedication. So tonight, before you turn in, take a moment. Feel your pillow. Adjust your head just slightly. Roll to your left. Let your breathing deepen. Let your heart rate steady. Let your sleep become your healing. And if something doesn't feel right, if your body whispers a warning in the morning, don't silence it. Don't brush it off. Talk to your doctor. Tell your loved ones. Take action. Because that small change tonight might be the very thing that prevents a life-altering event tomorrow. And here's what I want you to remember most: you are not powerless. You are not too old to improve. You are not too far gone to change. You are not too late to make a difference in your own life. Every healthy choice you make, even while you sleep, is an act of love for yourself. It is a gift to your brain, your body, your future. And every time you choose awareness over apathy, action over hesitation, you add not just years to your life, but life to your years. You're not just surviving. You're thriving. With wisdom, with intention, and with courage. And that, my friend, is something to feel proud of. So, let's recap this life-saving truth, briefly but powerfully. Avoid sleeping flat on your back, especially if you snore or have blood pressure issues. Don't sleep on your stomach, as it twists your neck and compresses vital organs. Prefer your left side, and elevate your head slightly, about 30 degrees, for better circulation. Choose a breathable, supportive pillow, and stay away from heavy meals or alcohol before bed. And finally, pay attention when you wake up. Because those early morning moments may reveal things your brain couldn't tell you in the night. Now let's bring this into a community conversation. Have you ever woken up feeling confused, or with a numb arm, or a dizzy spell that felt strange? Have you noticed a pattern in your sleep that worries you? I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and share your experience. Your story could help another viewer, maybe even save a life. And if you found this video helpful, if something clicked, if you're going to adjust your pillow tonight or talk to your doctor tomorrow, please, give this video a thumbs up. It helps us reach more seniors who may be sleeping in silence, unaware of the risk. And don't forget to subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Guide. We're building a community of strength, knowledge, and grace as we age. Together, we can take on the hidden challenges of aging, one wise step at a time. Finally, let me say this: you're doing an amazing job. Just by watching, learning, and considering change, you've already taken a powerful step toward protecting your health. So tonight, sleep safer. Sleep smarter. And sleep with the peace of knowing you're not alone. Stay informed. Stay proactive. And stay hopeful. Because the best years of your life aren't behind you. They're ahead. And they start with the choices you make tonight. I'll see you in the next video.